Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at another Sunnyside Daycare character. Everybody's favorite sparkly purple octopus, Stretch. Stretch is one of those main characters from Sunnyside Daycare. She's best friends with Chunk, Twitch, and Sparks. In fact, you'll see her most of the time in the movie with the three of them. If you haven't seen my previous video on that trio of Chunk, Twitch, and Sparks, check that out. Some of my favorite characters ever. But Stretch, I think, is just as essential. In the movie, you'll see her playing cards and gambling with them around that farm toy that, the pointer spins around and points at the different farm animals and makes the noise of the animal, and they're betting using that toy. It's kind of like a little poker table. It's just a really fun idea. Some of my favorite scenes in the movie. And of course, Ken is, a mainstay in all of those scenes as well. So the five of those guys, Ken, Stretch, Chunk, Twitch, and Sparks, I think if you're going to have a Toy Story 3 collection, besides Lotso, those are some of the absolute essential characters you have to have on the shelf. There's really just no way around it. I think that they're quintessential. And, Stretch is voiced by Whoopi Goldberg, which I think adds a lot, because with Whoopi, you're always going to have that laughter, that fun, and that humor. And I think that really comes across in the film. Now, she is not an evil toy, but she, of course, is at Sunnyside. She's under Lotso's thumb. And so, she's going to have to do some of his bidding. And in doing so, you do see in a couple scenes, she captures Jessie when all the toys are going to the milk carton or milk crate cages, that kind of prison that all the toys are put into. So she's in that scene, and she's not a nice toy in that scene. She also stops all the toys from escaping Sunnyside out of that chute into the garbage can. And so there are those scenes, but the betting and gambling scenes are just so fun. You really kind of see her real character. And the other scenes that are really fun is, she is the masseuse at the toy spa. So she gives all of these hurt, broken toys massages. It's just a real fun idea. But I will say, this is a really interesting idea too, because I think this idea was actually taken from the 1999 Flintstones movie, Viva Rock Vegas. The Flintstones go to, Las Vegas, but in the movie it's Rock Vegas. A very fun movie, different than the TV show. But the scene specifically that I'm referring to is at the spa in the hotel in Rock Vegas. There is a purple octopus that gives all of the humans massages. And I think that's too close to be a coincidence, because I believe the voice of that octopus is Rosie O'Donnell in the Flintstones, but she looks like Stretch. She acts like Stretch, and in the movie, again, she is the masseuse. And so I wonder if they took this idea and put that in Toy Story 3. Kind of an interesting idea. Let me know what you think about that. Now, in the way of Stretch figures, just like in the movie, we have here the 2010 Mattel version. Just like in the movie, she's very flexible, kind of a gooey rubber, although there's no residue or anything like that. She's got those tentacles. She's got these arms. Now, what's cool is she's very solid, but you can definitely pose her and have it stay if you have things that she's climbing over. For instance, in my display, I have her climbing over some alphabet blocks. I just have her sitting on these today. But on the display that I have, she's climbing over alphabet blocks. I've also had her climbing up over Chatterphone. It's really a fun posing idea with her. You can kind of have her climbing over things. The other thing about this 2010 version, now there's two versions. There's a newer version that came out around 2020, I believe, and this 2010 original. I'm going to say that the 2010 original is definitely the way to go because of this face sculpt. Now, as you can see with the famous trio, with Chunk, of course, you have the ability to change him with that red eye angry look, and then, of course, the happy blue eye happy look. Now, I don't have the smiling look with either the movie film accurate size or the 7-inch scale size, because I just don't think it goes. I think that that angry look is much more Sunnyside. And I think the same goes for Stretch. I think this face sculpt and these, those kind of sad, angry eyes and that frown, I think that just kind of goes with the scene and the vibe of Sunnyside. It's not a good place. Well, until, the end of the movie. And with that, I think that's why I would recommend this original 2010 version. The 2020 and newer, it has a smiley face and kind of these happy, doe eyes, which it's not a bad figure. I just think that, I will say, if you're trying to have a scene from the end of the movie when, Stretch is meeting all the new toys that are coming into Sunnyside, including Zurg, which is a really fun idea, I think the happy one would be a really good version of Stretch. But if you're going to have a Toy Story 3 collection on the shelf and you're going to have a Sunnyside area, I think this one is definitely the way to go. Now, again, we've got the film accurate Twitch, we've got the film accurate Chunk. If you are going with the film accurate Stretch, the only way to go is custom, unfortunately. And with that comes two things. One, she's absolutely huge. She's about the size of this table, which is about 12 or 13 inches, and she comes up around 8 inches. And the other thing with going custom with Stretch, she is hundreds of dollars, around $500, I believe. There are a few different makers out there. And that is not to say she's not absolutely beautiful in that size. One of the coolest figures ever, but not very affordable. And really, to have like a film accurate scale, section with, let's say you want to do Chunk and Twitch and Sparks around with Stretch and Ken, maybe playing cards, that would take a huge amount of shelf space. You would have to have your own shelf just for that scene. Now, that would be one of the coolest scenes ever if you could duplicate that, but it's really hard to do. And so I definitely recommend this 7-inch scale version. And again, this is the 2010. Now, we have taken a look at pretty much all of the Sunnyside characters. We've done the trio with Chunk, Twitch, and Sparks. We've even looked at Bookworm in a separate video. We have definitely taken a look at Lotso, of course. We've actually taken a look at a couple different versions of him, including the box set with the 7-inch scale Lotso, which is one of my favorites. And so we're actually going to kind of come away from Sunnyside in the coming videos. We're actually going to take a look at Bonnie's toys, and we've taken a look at a few of hers as well. We got Chuckles here in the background, but we've really looked at most of the main characters from Sunnyside. And that's not to say we're not going to come back. I'm sure I'll have some more on the way, maybe some different versions, some different sizes, maybe even the farm toy that makes the animal noises. But we have kind of finished up Sunnyside. And if you haven't watched any of those other videos on all those other characters, please do. I think you'll really enjoy those. And this week, we'll start taking a look at Bonnie's. I got some really fun surprises, actually, that I really didn't plan on getting, but an opportunity arose, and I just had to take it, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy those surprises. So, again, we're going to hang out with Stretch, and I definitely recommend that 2010 Mattel version. And if you enjoy this video or any of my other Toy Story videos, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow.